Thank you so much for joining live stream. We're back to Thursday. I started Thursday and then moved to Wednesday for a while, but I just Wednesday I had to be out of office and home, on the road coming from hearing and or interview, so I just couldn't do it. So went back to Thursday. So we're back to Thursday for now, 5 p.m. Central Time. Thank you so much for joining this live stream. It's been a while. I just couldn't do it last Wednesday or Thursday. So, in order to avoid cancellation or skipping of this live stream, I decided to go back to Thursday, so 5 p.m. for now. So thank you so much for joining from TikTok, YouTube. For those of you who join from YouTube and TikTok, you'll be able to ask questions and comments, and I'll try to answer your questions as well. You can also watch this one live from Facebook, LinkedIn, but you're not able to post any question. So if you'd like to engage me, ask some questions, then you should join from TikTok or YouTube. But once again, good to see you Thursday. Today is October 16th, and then we're going live. And then we're going to talk about U.S. immigration matters. The title of this live stream is, marriage green card case, but it can be anything. So you probably know that I'm based in, Chicago and Madison, Wisconsin, and ICE agents are all of the places in Illinois suburbs. So for those of you who are in Illinois, be safe because they're very aggressive in terms of visiting different locations in Illinois. So I'll just wait for some questions. Okay, there we go. So Manga, right? You got married to a permanent resident overstay. Okay. So then Manga got married to permanent resident spouse and then filed I-130, but right now out of status, overstayed the visa. Now your situation, right? Your situation is that unless your spouse become a U.S. citizen, your unlawful presence and potential unlawful employment will not be forgiven. Assuming that only two issues, that you don't have any criminal records and anything else, or a misrepresentation on your tourist visa application, you don't have it, then you need to wait until your U.S. citizen becomes your spouse becomes U.S. citizen. Then it's gonna forgive your unlawful presence and employment. Even though your priority date, I-130 priority date may be current, if you file USCIS Schedule 45 interview really fast, and then if your spouse not a U.S. citizen, when they schedule interview and when they're ready to adjudicate your case, then your case could be denied. So just be careful. Okay, so let me see other questions popping up. Thank you so much for asking. H or hi. Okay. Yes. So he attended N400 interview, and then looks like your field office doesn't schedule interview and oath ceremony on the same day, right? It's kind of rare to do it. In most cases, you need to go back to federal court or USCIS facility to attend oath ceremony, usually 30 days after your N400 approval, but you say you waited 3 months. We have seen some delays as well, so just be patient. Under Trump 1, we had some cases, waited quite some time after USCIS indicated that they're ready to schedule oath ceremony. I don't think that is happening. More likely it's related to government shutdown. So, but almost there. Or congratulations. Okay. Yeah. So then, Manga, you're kind of adding more information. Only concern that you have is unlawful presence. Your spouse needs to be a citizen. If you need our assistance, let us know. And then Manga, thank you so much for posting additional information. You enter with a J1. But still, right? J1 has authorized period of stay and then you overstay, just make sure that you're not subject to 212E requirement. It means that sometimes you need to go back to your home country for 2 years, or you need a 612 waiver. But back in December 2024, under Biden, Department of State removed many countries from a skill list. So let's double check. Yeah, manga said no criminal records. Okay. Kingu MK, you did your interview 2 months ago. Okay, so where did you have an interview? You said you had concurrent interview, I-130 and 45. Looks like it's a marriage green card case, and then you've been waiting 2 months after interview. Depends on location. It depends whether you have some issues like criminal records and all this will play the role. But the rule is that you need to wait up to 120 days after your interview to start contacting USCIS for status update. So you're not there yet, but hopefully they approve your case. Yes, Manga is staying on this conversation. Thank you so much. Yes, your spouse must be a US citizen. Yes, sorry. Yes, so EB, how much do we charge for marriage visa? Not clear whether you're talking about adjustment of the status or consular process. I don't talk about how much we charge for our practice, but call us, right? Call us, our main number. You can find that from TikTok profile, or if you are joining from YouTube, you can find that number on the screen. You call us, and then our intake manager specialist will give you free case evaluation and then including pricing information as well. Yes, Jenknick. Sorry, I'm just butchering your name. Does a 693 expire? Not yet, not yet. I mean, used to expire, but not anymore. But I think that once, yeah. So, but you need to check. You know what? I need to double check. So I'll talk about this next time. But it's my understanding is that it does not expire. Okay. Okay, Kingo, you're from New York. Yeah, New York. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Okay. In some states like West Coast, East Coast, and then Texas. Okay. So, Angel Flower, right? You like to start CR1 spouse visa. CR1 spouse visa, it means that I-130 petitioner is U.S. citizen, and then you're living in Philippines, right? So, now how long does it take? When it comes to consular process at this point under Trump, not because of sort of because of Trump, it takes longer. It takes longer. So, minimum 18 months from the beginning to the end, and up to 2 years. Up to 2 years. If you have a good journey for your CR1 spouse visa. Okay. Yeah. So then VIC. Sorry. I'm dealing with allergies and all this. It's very tired. It's every day is a long day, but I'm not gonna whine or complain. Okay. So you apply for I-90 extension, or are you talking about a removal of condition? So I'm not sure, but I'm gonna give you answer anyway. So then I-90, right, is the one that you extend or renew your green card if you have a 10-year permanent green card. So then I-90, sometimes it takes 30 days or more than 1 year. Let me drink some water too. But if you apply for 751 removal of condition, because when you have a 2-year conditional residency, then it takes between 18 and 2 years. So either way, it just takes longer, but 751 petition takes way longer than I-90. Okay. Okay, I'm just reviewing some of the questions here. Okay. Okay. I see. So then Eve, ask very important questions. So your parole, right? Parole into the U.S., right? There's a two ways to enter legally, parole or admitted, right? Admitted, and you're inspected. But you're placed into removal proceeding. So you have a pending removal proceeding, and then is it safe to attend, USCIS, interview? Looks like you have a marriage green card case. Depends. Although USCIS has a power to have a special agent with the guns and uh, power to arrest the people. Also, there is a possibility that ICE may be there. But when it comes to our cases, mainly in Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, we haven't seen any of our clients being detained, arrested by special agents, USCIS special agents or ICE. So that's my answer. But it kind of varies, and that depends where you live. So that's my answer. And then have a good interview if it's scheduled. One thing good about processing cases now under Trump is that they schedule adjustment of the status cases really fast. Naturalization a little bit slower, consular process a lot slower. But when it comes to adjustment of the status, especially marriage based, they're really fast. So that's good. Like Chicago, sometimes you submit and 30 days, 60 days later, they schedule an interview for you. So if you have a good case, then it's good time to apply. Angel Flower from Philippines with potential CR1 spouse visa asks the follow questions here. Okay. Maybe you missed my comments. Angel Flower, CR1 spouse visa right now, right? It takes minimum 18 months and 24 months. Yeah. So this is long process from the beginning to the end, and it may take longer. Okay, Jimmy asked the question. Okay, so you're potentially U.S. citizen. You're thinking about starting K1. That's another disappointing processing time because before Trump, it was 6 months and then not anymore. It'll take minimum 1 year and up to 18 months. So then K1 between 12 and 18 months, CR1 spouse visa 18 and 24 months. Yeah, so it's taking longer. Okay. Yeah, if you're in Florida, okay, Florida is a tricky state to live in, right? So because of the governor, right, from the governor to all these, the politicians and politics, it's a tough, like Texas, right? So it's good to be in Illinois, although there's a active ICE, movement, but still Illinois is good, Wisconsin is good as well. Okay, Moriah, okay. So you have a withholding of removal, right? So then at some point, you need to recalendar and then dismiss it. Looks like you're thinking about doing adjustment of the status as well. I-130, right? Processing time is a different. So if you have a CR1, the spouse overseas by I-130 U.S. citizen petitioner, I-130, it takes about 1 year. When you have withholding of removal or other, pending removal proceeding, it takes longer. So pending 24 months is it's about right there. So it can be anytime. If you need, now you're asking any advice, you're wondering whether there's any way to expedite it. You may try mandamus, but waiting 24 months sounds about right. Not that I'm saying that it's not long, but it's taking long when you have a pending removal proceeding. So sad reality. Okay. Yeah, of course. Now, Angela D. Okay, so then, popular question. You have 2-year conditional residency, and is it safe for you to go overseas? Answer is yes or no. Yes or no. One of the main concern is that whether, right, you have any significant criminal records. Looks like that's not the case. That's why you became permanent resident, right? The conditional resident. So then next question is that when you come back from your overseas trip, will CBP, right, have some doubts or inquiries about your bona fide marriage? It's out there. So I usually tell our clients, conditional resident clients, to come back from overseas trip together. By the way, I have a sinus infections and all this. My body's aching, so sometimes my sound I may babble. I just babble now, so it's kind of difficult to focus. But I'll finish up, okay, as scheduled. But if you like to be safe, right, just return with your spouse. So YL, right? Your 765 is pending. Okay, so you have 765 work permit application based upon AOS application 45, and then you completed biometrics 2 months ago, and then they haven't approved yet. It sadly takes longer. Where do you live? Which state do you live? Because USCIS, instead of approving your work permit, they may schedule the interview for you. So by the time that you go for interview, there's a chance that you don't have work permit on your hand. Possibility, but I'm not saying that it's going to be the case. Yeah, so it's kind of similar question here. SP trade FX. So your question is that you enter with a visa, and that you are getting married to U.S. citizen, and how fast can you get a work permit? I mean, good old days. Hey, Dorita, how are you? I will get back to you. Good old days, right? 30 days later, but not anymore. Especially in Chicago and then Milwaukee, once you submit, you get your schedule for interview. You don't get work permit right away. So in terms of the work permit, once you submit, I would say between 60 and then a little bit longer than 120 days. So 60, 120 days. Yes. Yeah. So then Dorita, right, our client, former client asked, right? So U visa was approved. How long you need to wait, right? So just email us, right? But usually it's a 5 years. Okay. So okay, just give me 1 second here. Okay. Syed, your question is a little bit confusing. You say you apply for VAWA on your green card interview date. Okay, I'm not sure that part, but the VAWA application, right? It takes quite some time to get a receipt notice. I think that USCIS processing VAWA petition file, February and March of this year. So even getting receipt notices for VAWA, right, takes longer, sadly, but almost there. YL, you're from California, I see. Okay. Okay. So YL, right? Once again, oh, you didn't get 485 notice. Usually, right? Do you have a My USCIS account? That's a really good idea. You'll get electronic notice. And then also, did you submit a G 1145? You'll get text message as well. But usually you're supposed to get your 45 receipt notice about 7 to 14 days after you submitted your application. It's taking long. Did USCIS cash out your filing fee? Well, that's another indicator. If USCIS cash out your filing fee, but don't send you any, especially 45 receipt notice, then you should contact application support center, like PO box that you send your application. There's an email address, and then you'll be able to contact them. Okay, pay, right? Pay say that you apply for work authorization. Is it based upon a C9 adjustment of the status? You've been waiting eight months, or what was the basis? Sadly, under Trump, work permit cases take longer. They're not willing to give you work permit as much they're able to do it. So, unfortunately, it takes longer. A, right? That's your username. It's a marriage green card case interview. You attended interview. How fast can you get result? Some our cases they get approval right after interview, right toward the end of interview, and some toward the end of the day, next day. So it can be any time, anytime. Usually our cases get approval relatively fast, but the rule is that, as I explained, you need to wait until 120 days to start contacting USCIS if the USCIS doesn't make any decision. So that's the wait time. Okay. Yeah. So YL, I know that many of you have own attorney, and then you're joining this live stream. Thank you. But your attorney is the one that who's able to explain what's going on. Because of the attorney, right? When you have attorney representation, they get their copy as well. They get their copy as well. Yes, Dorita, I answered your question. You need to wait 5 years after when U visa is approved. U visa is approved. Okay. I mean, marriage green card case can be confusing, but you work with attorneys, so you should talk to your attorney. They should give you all this information. Okay. Kuko, any updates on DACA? So, yes. Okay. So then, well, obviously, right? USCIS said that they're gonna start adjudicating initial DACA, and then still with the court, they haven't approved this USCIS promise. So, in terms of the initial DACA, potentially USCIS will start adjudicating soon. The renewal, no changes. But when this court makes the final ruling, for those of you who are in Texas, will be impacted differently. So just I'll keep you posted as well. Okay, now Baye, okay, so thanks for the clarification. So when your asylum application is approved, that function as employment authorization. So the getting EAD is a different matter, it's an ID card, but approved asylum status has embedded employment authorization. So, and then year after you became asylee, you'll be able to apply for adjustment of the status. So congratulations. Okay, so we're back to Thursday. Hope to see you again more on regular basis, right? Yes, of course, of course. Now, so at this point, right, the Chamber of Commerce sued the government about 100,000 H-1B visa. So there will be some legal pushback against the government's decision about immigration. We'll see whether Supreme Court will take a birthright citizenship case. We're not sure. They may. So it's going to have a huge impact on many of us, right, living in this country. So it's difficult time. Now, why don't we do this? Okay, thank you so much for joining today. So I'm gonna make it a little bit short. So it has been a long day. And then usually I do it for 30 days, but I think that I'm going to wrap it up. And then I'll see you Thursday. I'll try to keep it 30 minutes, but I'm going to make it short today. So thank you so much for joining this live stream. This was live stream hosted by Dr. Jae Francis. And then I'll see you next Thursday. Until then, peace be with you. Thank you so much.